Good morning. So, he and I did something the other night. We decided to put all of our critters, the ones that were over here in this little coop, into this coop. I'm just down here to let them out for the morning. I thought y'all would enjoy seeing the little parade. Hi girls, hi boys, hi darlings. There comes a new one. There's Miss Prissy. There's the other new one. Come on, babies. Come on. And see, there they go. There they go. That's not okay. Chuck was waiting on him. Poor George. Well, at least he has still places to... That's one of the reasons I left all these weeds in here this year, y'all. So that George could get away from him. But, anyway. Is everybody out? Is everybody out? And the noisy ones, of course. Let's see. George is over there walking across what's left of the land bridge. Bless. But the babies are doing fine. They've integrated. But like I said, we've decided we're going to take this little building down this week, or this winter. For one thing, we're down to such a small number of chickens now because of our aerial predators that the Taj Mahal Coop that Aaron built is plenty big enough to keep all of our chickens in. I've got to fix this door because it doesn't close very well. We've already got little girls settling in over there in the boxes, getting ready to lay their eggs for the day. Nope, she says, not if you're filming me. How rude. So, we're getting cool enough that our openings are going to have to be closed off. Keep it a little warmer in there. I don't know where that piece of plastic. You had just tacked up all of the plastic from last year so that we could just reuse it. It looked awful, but he insisted that that was just something he was going to do. So, you know, whatever. But anyway, so we'll cover all of this off. Keep them warm for the winter. But that was really the big consideration in closing off that coop, was just to move them all into this coop. And that way, if it's ever really cold, there's one of the little girls. That's a new baby. Oh, that's the rooster, we think. There's the new little girl. They are so sweet. They are so sweet. But if it's ever extraordinarily cold, and our weather has been so, well, you know, I mean, it's been so crazy this year. But if it's ever extraordinarily cold, I will put a heat lamp in here. Had an extension agent one time, and because I had always kept my coops heated with a heat lamp. And I had an extension agent one time say, listen, if you ever lose electricity and your chickens are used to being in that warmer environment, you'll lose them. And he said it's better to just let them, they have feathers, they floop up their feathers, and they lay on their feet. And we use, instead of a round pole, and any of y'all that keep chickens, that probably everybody knew this except for me. I didn't know this. But you don't want their feet actually wrapping around something. You want their feet to be flat on a surface. So we use a 2x4 laid on its side. So, look at these guys. I don't know what they're going after. But That way their feet, when they're sitting on the roosting post, their feet are flat and they just squat down on their feet. And that keeps their feet warm and keeps them, all right, you stink. You're a booger. And keeps their feet from getting frostbitten. Now it doesn't keep their comb from getting frostbitten. That can actually happen. But we use the deep litter method. You guys, do you have to be so noisy? We use the deep litter method, which is just basically to continue putting more sawdust or fine wood chips over top of what's already in there, and just not cleaning it out until springtime. There's our little rooster. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. Where's your sissy? And there's Mama. She's such a good mama. She is such a good mama. You see how perfect her feathers are as compared to the others. She hasn't been roughed up by the roosters yet. But anyway, just keeping them warm by allowing the heat from the deep litter, what's on the floor of the coop, to just, it slightly warms the air, but it warms it a little bit. And then with the windows closed over with plastic and just their body heat, and they're scooting against each other on their roosting poles, that apparently keeps them warm enough. We've never lost a chicken in the winter, so I guess it keeps them warm enough. I just like to think of everything being comfortable. I don't know if they're uncomfortable. I don't know, but we're just, doing what the extension agent said was the better way of taking care of your chickens. And see how tiny this little pond is. And some of the water went out over top, which is good, because it was all the way up to the little wooden wall. But we're going to take that pipe out this winter and just layer that with, and just allow it to be just a tiny little waterfall. Not a waterfall, but just a place for the water to escape, and fill that in good with rock. This pond has just been a pain in the butt. It's, hey, baby, what you doing? Say, what's going on? Say, what's going on? What's going on? Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, you're being noisy. Now you hear that really high sound? That's the male. Males have a really high, noisy, and the lower sound is the female. The males have a really high voice, and the females have a really low voice. I think that's funny. I love my birds. But it will be nice this winter, just to get everything over here cleaned up. He said he's going to fix it so he can mow. I don't want it that manicured. But, and we are going to plant a tree right here. And probably, hopefully, like a fast-growing willow. This will be far enough away from all of the fences so that they can't actually get in it and fly out. Good morning. What you doing? Say, what you doing, baby? Say. Yes, we hear you. But it will give them a little jungle gym to kind of get up in. A place where they can, roost during the daytime, hang out, little jungle gym. They like things to climb on and hop around on. I want to, like I told you I don't know, when we started this. I guess that was just last year. It seems like it was forever ago. But along the edges, I want to build little tiny little frames where I can grow greens. The greens will grow up through the hardware cloth, and they can nip on that. You're being really, really noisy. Good morning. really noisy. Really, really noisy. Sorry, guys. You have to turn down your volume. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, darling. This one is a Googles. He's my buddy. Over there's Mama and the babies. See how big they are? They're really almost as big as Mama. So it was time to move them to a new coop. See how low her voice is? That's the girl. And this is the boy. Hi, darling. This is Ryan. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Well, usually that will quieten them down a little bit. But do you see the divot on top of Ryan's head? We think that he was probably injured at some point before we rescued him from the top of the mountain road. But that never completely healed. So he still has that divot on top of his head. But anyway. So last night, night before last is when we took all of the rest of the remaining chickens out of that coop and moved them over into there. Of course, Huey said, "Do you think I should try to catch George?" And this is George, our rooster, one of our roosters. And I said, "No, just get him out of there, and I'll shine the light on the door." So that's what we did. It took a minute or two, but he finally went in. They're just not going to be quiet, y'all. But chickens are pretty blind in the dark. So we managed to get them all in there. Now last night we still had George and two of the girls on top of the coop. They were trying to figure out how to get inside because that's where they've stayed. So we did have to just kind of scoot them off the top of that coop and wait for them to make their time over to that door. But anyway, it's been an experience trying to get everybody moved over to the big coop. And this coop is for the geese. The geese, they go in there every now and then. During the spring, we'll have mamas in there laying on eggs. And the 2 eggs that we had actually hatched last year was in that coop. But we just don't need all these different coops, and it's good for them to actually keep each other warm. So we'll just keep them together. Get rid of this one, and at some point, if we ever have more chicken babies born, I might, on the end of this one, build another little enclosure, another little house, little nesting house. Now they're being noisy for them. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell y'all what's going on down here in the bird lot. It will be nice when it's all cleaned up. And what's growing down here is actually more ornamental and actually pretty and not just weeds. Maybe not weeds. Not if he gets in here with this. I don't see how he'll mow. Look at all the divots. It's just a little mountainous terrain in here. There's no way to mow in here. Maybe weed eat, but mowing is beyond hope. One more look at the mama and the babies. They're eating some seed out of I feed them too much. I really do. I shouldn't. But they always have plenty to nosh on in the morning before I feed them in the afternoon. But there's Mama and the two littles. Hey, sweet ones. Hey, sweet ones. But we were hoping that that little one wasn't a rooster. I'm afraid he is. We gotta try to find a home for him because these two roosters already give each other enough grief without adding another one into the mix. All right, y'all. Have the most beautiful day. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous here. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Bye-bye.